Hey everyone, I'm Bradford Goodrich, and for August 2, 2013, I'm asking the question, what is it about this Jesus? In Exodus chapter 1, we're introduced to a new king, and this new Pharaoh has a problem. The Israelites, the God-fearing people who are populating Egypt, are, well, growing. They're like rabbits. They're just like, phew. Everywhere you look, there are Israelites. What we read in chapter 1 is that this king is so obsessed with population control is that he becomes this horrific monster. He gives an order and decree in chapter 1 verse 22 that all the baby boys, all the Hebrew baby boys, those born to the Israelites, be tossed into the Nile River. Pharaoh's thinking that if he can get rid of all the baby boys, then they won't grow up to be leaders who would rebel against him. The closest we come to sharing in this, horrific period in the lives of Israelite parents is that we face challenges in our own world. We know from studying Genesis 50 that Joseph spoke of a time that was coming in which the Israelites would have to be reminded or take comfort in the fact that God was going to come to their aid. So as we read Genesis 1:22, we're witnessing, we're reading this tragedy taking place. But as the reader, we're reminded that God is going to come and help these people. We understand that whatever painful experience we go through, if our faith is in God, He's going to get us through it somehow. He's going to come to our aid and help us. As we're reminded of that promise that Joseph made, back in Genesis 50, we think of that as we read the story in Exodus chapter 1. The question is, will the Israelites remember that same promise? To a time people forget or people choose to ignore. We can acknowledge that in today's world, God doesn't talk to us in the same way He did, to the men and women of the Bible. But the truth is, we have the Bible, which tells us that, God is watching over us. And if we can really believe that, even though right now it might seem in your life that He isn't there, or, He isn't doing anything, you have to trust that God is going to come to your aid, and that He's going to get you through whatever it is that is causing you suffering, stress, whatever. The important thing to remember is that God always remembers us. The problem is, we don't always remember Him. So bit of a dark verse, but it's all leading up to something great and extraordinary. It's something important for us to remember, that we have to trust in what God says and believe He's going to do exactly as He promises, because, well, He does. So enjoy your weekends, and I'll see you back on Monday with a brand new video.